Welcome to another episode of Chat and Chew, and today's episode is called Cacao Close-Up. Ooh, I'm so excited. But before we get into our episode, I want to introduce to you three fabulous MS Nutrition and Dietetics students, and let's get to know them. To my farthest right, we have Jamie Scolastico. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yay. So where do you come from?
I come from a place called Victorville, which is up at the top of the Cajon Pass. So it's about 45 minutes away from here, but it's always worth the drive.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love hearing that. And what are your hopes and dreams for right after you graduate from Loma Linda University? What does your first job look like?
I want to work with the school system. Growing up, we always have, everybody has a stigma about school lunch, but it's provided. So I feel like on our end as RDs, we need to make the food nutritious for students, but also tasteful, so they want to eat it. So they're not going for the pizza, so that it's, And other institutions too, like hospitals for sure, prison systems, anywhere where people are responsible for the masses and provide food. I think that we have a responsibility to provide nutrition and make it enjoyable to eat.
So true. I love the passion that you have for that area. Excellent. Thank you. All right, and Miss Carolina Cano.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
Yay! Where do you come from?
I was born and raised in Colombia. I moved when I was 17.
17.
Yeah. And I live in Orange County. So I drive about 60 miles to Loma Linda.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And
But it's great.
yes, wonderful. So, there are so many schools to choose in California. So why Loma Linda University?
You know what, Dr. Ball, as a mom, as a wife, it was moving to a different state or moving to another city wasn't an option.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm glad Loma Linda was close to my house.
Yes. Yes.
It was a great option because it has a program that also offers internships. So it is, how do we call it? It is a
coordinated
program.
Yes.
So that was great to hear.
It was a selling point.
That was the selling point. So I applied, and here I am.
Yay. We are so happy that you chose us.
I'm happy I was accepted, and I'm happy I am in the master program with you and all these ladies every day.
We're all so blessed. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we have Jordan Salas.
Yes.
Okay, Jordan, where do you come from?
So I grew up in Corona, California, but most of my family came from the Philippines. My parents immigrated here when they were young, had a family, and here I am.
Wow, fabulous. Okay, so once you have RDN,
Yes.
what is the ultimate dream job in a few years?
So I'm not quite settled yet on what I want to do. I think I'm still trying to test the waters and see, but I know I definitely want to work with diabetes patients and also renal patients, just because that population is very near and dear to my heart, as I'm the primary caretaker of my grandparents, and both of them suffer with those conditions, and I really want to make a difference with people who are struggling like they did. That's my ultimate goal, but I'm not sure if I want to do a private practice, continue with research, or maybe just stay with clinical. I'm not sure yet.
The sky's the limit, right? Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, ladies. So, this topic today, cacao. So first of all, tell me, what is the difference between cocoa or cocoa and cacao?
So that is a good question to start with,
Okay.
because both terms are used interchangeably. And the difference between the two is that they refer to different stages in processing. So first, cacao is the more natural raw cacao bean, So cacao is harvested, it is fermented, and is dried. So it's more natural, not other processes. And for that reason, it also has a rich and more intense flavor. Also, because there is not a lot of processing, the nutrient content is preserved. So there is more nutrients in cacao. Now, cocoa is the more processed version of the cacao bean, and the nutrient content can be altered a little bit. So in general, if you're looking for a less processed option that also has more nutritional content, go for the cacao.
And go for the cacao. Okay, that is awesome. Okay, so what is the difference between alkalized and non-alkalized cocoa powder?
Yeah, so I can go ahead and take a shot at this question.
Awesome.
So alkalized cacao means that it goes through this processing, also known as Dutch processing, where the cacao powder is actually treated with a basic or an alkaline solution. So this causes the cacao to be less acidic, and this also alters the change of flavor, also the color. So it actually makes the cacao a lot less acidic, makes the flavor a lot more mild in comparison. And additionally, it makes the cacao powder look a little bit more muted in color. So it looks more brown, a little bit darker.
Okay.
In comparison, non-alkalized cacao does not go through this process. So like Carolina stated earlier, it's kind of like in its more raw form. So the flavor is actually a little bit more acidic because, again, the pH is not changing.
True.
And the color is a lot brighter. It has this amber brownish tone to it. And also the smell is a little bit stronger to it. Kind of has that like rich chocolate smell that people associate with, dark chocolate or hot chocolate. And again, a really important aspect of alkalization is non-alkalized cacao has more phytochemicals and a lot more nutrients because it's less processed.
That makes sense.
So when consuming cacao, we want to make sure that it's non-alkalized, just so we can ensure that we're getting most benefits as possible.
Yeah, that's such a great point. So what are the general guidelines so that it does allow for health benefits?
Okay, so I can answer that. It is essential to know that although cacao has nutritional benefits, if we consume it in excess, then it will, especially if we like that chocolate that has added sugars and added fat, then our calorie intake can increase, and that will outweigh the benefits, the health benefits of cacao. So it's good to have that in consideration. Also, there is not a specific amount that we can eat to get the benefits, but something to have into consideration is to aim for cacao products that have at least 70% cacao. That is the recommendation. And when I say in moderation, let's think like if you like dark chocolate, a small piece will be 1 ounce or 28 grams. If you consume that a few times a week, that is okay. That will give you the benefits without the extra calories. And also, if you are using, like we are using today, some cacao powder, adding 1 to 2 tablespoons to your oatmeal or to your smoothies can be also beneficial. So those are the recommendations, but there is not something specific.
Yes.
Just moderation.
That last recommendation, adding the powder to, that's a good one. I'm sure you're going to show that to us later on.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So my next question is cacao a good source of magnesium? And how is this beneficial to our health if it does have magnesium?
Yeah, so magnesium is really essential for functionings of your body. And actually, according to the World Health Organization, 75% of Americans are deficient in magnesium.
Correct.
So a lot of us aren't meeting the 420 milligram recommendation set. Interestingly enough, cacao for 1 tablespoon has 27 milligrams of magnesium. So just incorporating that into your diet in moderation, as stated previously, is a great way to get magnesium into your diet if you are deficient. So magnesium plays an essential role in muscle function, in brain function, and neural function, and also in bone health. So in terms of muscle, it helps prevent any cramps, it helps your muscles contract, For your bones, it helps with bone density and also for the mineralization of your bones as well. So stronger bones. Everyone loves stronger bones.
Definitely, for sure.
And then in terms of neural function, it actually makes sure that the cognitive function and also the neurons are acting accordingly. So it's very important to have magnesium incorporated because, as stated, a lot of us aren't getting the proper amount needed to stay healthy.
Yes, excellent. That's so exciting that it does have that. Now, are there other health benefits with cacao?
Oh, yes.
Okay, share,
Yeah, very
please.
enthusiastic, yes. There's many.
Okay.
But to name a few, there's improved cognitive function,
Yeah.
there's improved cardiovascular health, and then enhanced physical performance. And most of these are due to the high antioxidant content of cacao and also a chemical known as theobromine. Now, this is not the same bromine that we see in pineapple. This is something different. Theobromine is a vasodilator. So that means that it will take the vessels, your blood vessels, and it'll dilate them, which means more blood flow, which means more oxygen flow. So this is how it protects your cardiovascular system. Also, this is how it supports cognitive function. More blood to your brain, more oxygen to your brain, we're doing better already.
Yeah.
And in the same idea, that's how it helps feed working, exercising muscles. So you're getting that oxygen, you're doing that aerobic work, you can continue to do that, and you're getting the nutrients that are on demand from those muscles.
Woo, a lot of good benefits.
Oh yeah.
All right, that was great. Great explanation. But what about mood, ladies?
Oh, everybody loves chocolate. It just makes us happy.
Yes,
But there's
it
some science
does.
behind it why it makes you happy, including the theobromine. There's also serotonin, and then there's also phenethylamine, and then there's anandamine, which the last actually translates to bliss. So yeah, they nailed it on that one.
Wow.
And then Thanksgiving favorite, tryptophan.
Yes.
Yeah, so all these basically, they elevate our mood and just make you feel good.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to feel good?
Really?
Right? Okay, so it was mentioned earlier that cacao does have some caffeine. So is the amount of caffeine enough to cause any health issues with those who might have like a caffeine sensitivity?
So in comparison, one serving of cacao or 1 tablespoon of cacao only has 12 milligrams of caffeine.
Woohoo, yay,
And
just a little 12.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
And when comparing that to coffee actually has way more. So
Yeah.
1 cup has 95 milligrams. So if you're caffeine sensitive, cacao shouldn't cause any issues for you. But if you do have an extreme sensitivity to caffeine, I would recommend consulting with your primary care and just to see like, is this safe for me to consume? But for the normal person, it's okay to consume cacao or like dark chocolate in moderation.
Excellent, thank you. So my last question is, all three of you come from different backgrounds, and so could you share some of the uses that you have used with your own culture using cacao?
Sure.
Who wants to? Okay.
Oh yeah. So, like I stated earlier, my family's Filipino.
Yes.
And one of the
Yay.
ways that we use cacao is actually in this dish called champorado. And champorado is this rice porridge with chocolate that is primarily served in the morning. So
Yes.
that's one of the ways that we use this ingredient.
Excellent. What about you, Carolina?
In Latin America,
Yes.
we use chocolate in beverages, we use chocolate in desserts.
Yeah.
It is used for the famous mole sauce
Mole,
in Mexico.
yes.
That is amazing and very complex but to prepare, but it tastes great. And it was also a luxurious and sacred beverage for the Aztecs for the Aztecs in Mexico.
Yeah.
So, and I would like to add, in South America, in regions like Ecuador and Brazil and the Dominican Republic,
Yeah.
is a big part of their economy.
Ah, Good to know. Thank you. And last but not least,
I'm a little bit of everything, but one straightforward thing is German chocolate cake. So it's German.
Yum.
And as opposed to the American version we have, which is very sweet, a traditional German chocolate cake uses cacao, which is less sweet. So it tastes almost more like a bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they definitely, they use it in that preparation.
Excellent. All right. Well, ladies, you could head over to the table, and I can't wait to see what you will show us in using cacao. Yes, please
Okay,
go
thank
over.
you.
Oh, this is so exciting, and I'll join you all later on. All right.
All right, so our first recipe, we're going to be making some overnight oats with cacao and also with 72% dark chocolate powder. So here I already have a prepped version that we made last night, so it's ready to go, but I'm going to demo you for everyone today the use of, the recipe. So here we have about a half cup of oats, and to this I'm going to add a tablespoon of chia seeds. And then we're going to also add half a tablespoon of maple syrup. And then we're gonna add a half cup of almond milk. Just give this a quick shake.
And we are using almond milk, but you can use the milk of your preference, right?
Exactly. Dairy, non-dairy, oat milk.
Yeah, all of them will work well.
Yes.
And then real quickly, I'm just going to give this a quick mix just to get everything incorporated. And then the star of our show, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. So
That's the start of the show today,
Oh,
as
yes.
Jordan just mentioned.
And we can, I know you guys at home can't smell it, but you can just smell that chocolatey, that ooh.
yeah, it's a super strong aroma from the get-go. So
Oh,
again,
yes.
I'm just gonna try to give this a quick mix and incorporate everything as best as I can.
So it's very easy as a breakfast option, and you can make more than one, right? So you already have your breakfast for 2 or 3 days for your
Yes.
week. So it's overnight oats is a great option for breakfast, and you can use different toppings.
Right.
Or even make multiple servings and bring them to your coworkers.
Share the love.
Yes.
And then I usually like to reserve this for the morning, but we're gonna top it with some dark chocolate chips and then also a banana. So we're gonna add this in. And then
That looks like
also-
dessert for breakfast. It really
it
does.
But if you see, we are not adding any sugar. We are adding a little bit of maple syrup, but then you are also getting the natural sweetness from the banana.
Yes,
Right?
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
And
we-
some added fiber as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So the
So very,
banana.
very
in
easy,
there.
tasteful, rich.
And then again, it's optional, but you can just add a little dash of cinnamon in there as well.
Cinnamon is full of antioxidants, and also it has anti-inflammatory properties, right?
It's been known to help with control blood sugar levels.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
okay.
specific type, but yeah.
So yeah, we want to refrigerate this for at least 3 hours, but preferably overnight. So yeah, this is all ready to go. And then you would just cover it, leave it for the morning. But like I said, we have a already prepped one for everyone to try.
We didn't want to make you wait.
Yeah.
We did some kitchen magic. Okay, the second recipe we will show you is a smoothie. It is rich, it is creamy. You can use it after a workout or as a breakfast. So I have some of the ingredients already here. Our banana was frozen, but we were here in the set live. So I recommend using frozen banana for texture. So I added a frozen banana. I will add a cup of milk. I also add a spoon of the cacao powder. And I added some cinnamon. So those are the ingredients when the banana is frozen. So it will give like a rich texture to it. Again, we did some kitchen magic. I already have my smoothie here ready. And if you want to add some more ingredients for a boost of nutrition, right? So you can add some hemp seeds on top for healthy fats.
Protein powder?
Also, yeah, if you want to add extra protein, you can add a scoop of your favorite protein powder. You can also add cinnamon and vanilla, and yeah, it's a great option for breakfast too. And it's easy to make. It tastes wonderful. You can use it for the whole family, for you, for your kids. So it is just a great, refreshing option.
That sounds good. I can't wait to taste that. So the holiday season's coming up, and what do we like to do more than to cozy up to something warm? So a classic is hot chocolate. So let's put our cacao spin on that. So I have here some warmed milk. Again, this is almond milk, but you can use whatever preferred milk you like. And we're gonna add to it, again, the star of the show, 1 tablespoon of cacao powder, and then half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we're only doing half a teaspoon because this stuff is strong. And then half a teaspoon of cinnamon for spice and all those other benefits that we just talked about. All right, I'm gonna give this a quick blend. This is my kitchen magic.
Just like that.
Okay. All righty then. Well, do you think Dr. Naval wants to come and taste our preparations?
Do you think? Yes, I do.
That was a tease.
Yeah.
All right, so overnight oats.
Overnight oats. Look how beautiful this is. It's so lovely.
And you can play around with your toppings, right?
Oh, heck
You can
yes.
also use hemp seeds. We use chia seeds for this particular one. But yeah, you can add blueberries on top, strawberries. I think the
Granola.
combination of the chocolate with the strawberries is always so good.
And the banana.
And the banana, yeah.
Banana.
Classic.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's my favorite combination of bananas, chocolate, cacao. Really.
exactly.
It's just, everything. It's like a delicate. Well, what am I trying to say? It's a delicacy. It is so decadent. That is
Yeah.
a word.
Decadent.
What's the word?
Luxurious, right?
Luxurious. Yeah. I'm like da 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 da.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's definitely so decadent. So if you have that for breakfast, oh my, I think breakfast would be like a big treat to wake up to if you had this.
It's a good start.
And it's a good option, as I said, to prepare in advance. For
Yeah.
you, I'm always thinking about kids. For your kids, right? As a mom, yeah, it's easier. You make 5, so you have more for the week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And now you can go ahead and try our smoothie, chocolate smoothie.
All righty.
It has been sitting here, so it's not that cold. But
Okay.
when you prepare it, I recommend, again, the frozen banana. You can also add some ice
Yes.
and just drink it right away. Very rich.
It's so rich, but yet it's soothing at the same time.
Something that I forgot to
Yes.
ask you, if you want it more dense, you can add peanut butter or almond butter for a
Okay.
source of healthy fats also.
That's true. I
And
mean,
then
it was nice and thin, more liquidy, the consistency, which was so good. But that's a good thought. If
Yeah.
you wanted it more thick,
Yes.
then okay. But we have opportunities to play around with
Exactly, yes.
And the great thing about all of our recipes is that they're really customizable.
Oh,
So you can add things that you like. If you want to increase protein content, you can add a scoop of protein powder, change up the milk. You can always use different sweeteners other than maple syrup. So really the sky's the limit. Like whatever you like just try different recipes out and yeah.
It's nice that there's a base, and then you can just tailor make it to what you really like,
Exactly.
what makes you happy, and what your needs are when it comes to nutrition.
All right.
I love that.
Okay.
Okay.
And for the treat, okay, this is hot chocolate. It's probably like mild warm chocolate right now. We'll go with
chocolate.
warm chocolate, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
now
not
let's
quite
see.
the winter season yet, but we're getting there. So yes, and again, you're going to get
yum.
that chocolatey that you just the happiness you expect when you taste chocolate.
So true. And the cinnamon in there.
It adds that spice, right?
It does. I love it. Oh my.
And we've used it in all of our recipes, I believe, too.
Yeah.
So
That's something very important to think about ingredients.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
our recipes revolve around the same ingredients.
Yes.
Milk,
That's true.
cacao, bananas,
Okay.
cinnamon. So with those ingredients, you can create different things. So think about that when you are cooking at home, right? Making it easier for you.
And shopping, I mean,
And
yeah.
on the budget, yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So, I know you already talked about cinnamon lowering blood sugars. So that's one of the benefits. And for some people, cinnamon can also bring down blood pressure too.
Yes.
Right?
did hear
So
about
in addition to the theobromine, which will also, bring down blood pressure. So I mean, that's just a,
Right.
it's a double.
Yes, so true. And so there was a question that I wanted to ask earlier, but we didn't get to. So what about for women who are concerned about estrogen dominance? So for some people, caffeine can, lead to some estrogen dominance. So what's the guideline? What's the concern, if there is?
So caffeine, yes, as you mentioned, it can alter the hormone levels, especially estrogen in women. It can create some estrogen imbalance. If what I will say is, still as Jordan mentioned, cacao has a lot less caffeine.
There you go.
So it will depend in several factors. It will depend on the individual sensitivity, also the overall diet, and the lifestyle.
You nailed it.
Yeah, so in general, for women, if you are concerned about your any hormonal imbalance
Correct.
or estrogen imbalance, I will suggest consulting with your primary care physician, and also look for any signs, any symptoms.
Yes, it's so true.
Estrogen imbalance can be, some symptoms can be insomnia, can be breast tenderness in women. It also can be, we can feel fatigue when our estrogen is not well balanced, and also any changes in our periods.
Right, exactly.
So those are symptoms to look for if you think you have any sensitivity.
Yeah, and then so here's the thing: if anybody experiences what you've mentioned, in addition to seeing the doctor, a functional dietitian can greatly help with estrogen dominance. But here's the thing, it's not just women who are in their childbearing years who are concerned about estrogen dominance, but it's also women like myself on the other side of menopause. We could still, even though our estrogen and progesterone is much lower, it could still be imbalanced. So, but everything in mindful moderation. But earlier, you all said that the caffeine content was so much lower. So it's a great alternate source for all of us. So, and where can we buy cacao powder, ladies?
So it's available online on Amazon. Of course, too. It's I've seen the brand that we're using, which I won't mention, at Sprouts, and also the Loma Linda Market does have good sources of cacao. And if you're looking for something a lot more common, Hershey's actually also makes a brand too that uses like pure cacao powder.
100%. I saw it the other day at Target. I was like, oh, they jumped on the bandwagon because they knew it was good and the customers want it.
All right. Well, I am so grateful for all that you shared with us, ladies. This is exciting. And thank you for joining us today, and join us next time on another episode.